There's breaking news about another Hollywood divorce.
Come in over here, my beautiful wife.
After 39 years, Judge Greg Mathis and wife Linda are calling it quits.
You have to understand that marriage and love is give and take.
Have you ever looked at a celebrity couple and thought they would be together forever? The kind of couple that seems unshakable. The kind that survives decades of ups and downs, public scrutiny, career pressures, and everything life throws at them. Well, that's exactly why people were stunned when news of Greg Mathis and Linda's marriage troubles started making headlines. But what really sent social media into a frenzy wasn't just the divorce itself. It was the growing speculation that Wendy Williams had suddenly entered the conversation. And according to online chatter, Wendy wasn't staying quiet. In fact, many people believed she was siding with Linda. And that's where the story takes a dramatic turn. For years, Greg Mathis and Linda were viewed as one of the strongest couples in entertainment. Their relationship lasted nearly 4 decades. Through career success, family milestones, television fame, and public appearances, they appeared to be a united team. That image became part of Greg's public identity. Whenever he talked about his success, he often credited Linda for being there through the hardest moments of his life. She was presented as his biggest supporter, his foundation, and his partner. For a long time, fans believed that story completely. That's why the divorce news felt so shocking. People immediately started asking the same question. What happened? How does a marriage that lasted nearly 40 years suddenly fall apart? At first, details were limited. The public only knew that divorce papers had been filed and that the couple was officially moving in separate directions. But as usually happens in celebrity breakups, rumors started spreading almost immediately. Everyone had a theory. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone claimed to know the real reason.
That might not be true, according to you, about this woman that allegedly you slept with, who allegedly got her pregnant. Listen to, just let me draw up the skeleton, Judge, and then you fill in the meat.
Talk about fueling your stuff. You, on the other hand, have admitted to being addicted to cocaine.
Absolutely.
Secondly, you continue to show symptoms of your addiction.
Okay.
Lastly,
what are those symptoms? Tell me.
These nasal passages you keep coughing up.
And I did Afrin.
This eternal cold that you continue to have.
Yes,
that you can't have to come to work because every other week, now you even stupid so low as to blame it on your baby, your newborn. How low can you get? That's about as low as you can get to blame your child for your addiction. Then, lastly, your bisexual activity. I'm sure your audience want to know about that. I've heard that rumor.
I'm sure my husband would love that.
Yeah. Oh, he watches? Does he watch when you do it?
Yes. Don't you know?
No, I don't know. I didn't know you were that low down. Lastly, we can continue with what I heard about all those. It's like 8. You had 8 of them.
Oh,
that's what I heard. That's the rumor.
How
now you want to keep fueling that? Did you write about that in your book?
I wrote it in my book.
All 8 of them?
Yes, I wrote. I have an.
Some blamed career pressures. Others blamed years of unresolved issues. And some people believed there was much more happening behind the scenes than anyone realized. Then Wendy Williams' name entered the discussion, and that changed everything. Wendy Williams has never been known for staying quiet. Throughout her career, she built a reputation for saying exactly what was on her mind.
Well, we're not going to fight. If that's the condition of coming back, we're not coming back because we are a whole family, a wholesome family. We all have our flaws, but we don't fight.
Whether people agreed with her or not, Wendy always had a way of becoming part of the conversation.
Well, you mentioned our family show, Mathis Family Matters, and as you see on there, our influence is that, Black families are great families. And no, they're not filled with, just inner fighting. Yeah. And so
when discussions about Greg Mathis and Linda began gaining attention online, many people wondered what Wendy thought about the situation. What nobody expected was the possibility that Wendy might appear sympathetic toward Linda. Almost immediately, social media users started revisiting old interviews, old disagreements, and old moments involving Wendy and Greg. People remembered the tension. They remembered the criticism. And suddenly, those past moments were being discussed all over again. The internet loves connecting dots. Sometimes those dots connect, and sometimes they don't. But once speculation starts, it becomes almost impossible to stop. As more people weighed in, the narrative grew larger. Fans started asking whether Linda had been dealing with frustrations for years. Had there been warning signs nobody noticed? Were the happy family photos hiding deeper problems? Those questions spread quickly, and every new discussion seemed to create even more questions. But here's the twist. The public image of a relationship is often very different from reality. Nobody truly knows what happens behind closed doors except the people living it. Still, that didn't stop people from analyzing every detail. Old interviews resurfaced, past comments were examined, social media posts were dissected. Fans searched for clues everywhere. Suddenly, every photograph, every appearance, and every public statement looked different. Things that once seemed normal now looked suspicious. Moments that appeared happy suddenly felt complicated.
For the first time in 15 years, the kids are all back in the same city.
Meanwhile, Greg Mathis found himself at the center of an increasingly intense media storm. For someone who spent years presenting himself as a strong and confident public figure, the attention couldn't have been easy. The headlines kept coming. The discussions kept growing. The speculation never stopped. According to many observers, the pressure appeared to be mounting. Every day brought another article, another social media debate, and another viral discussion. The story was taking on a life of its own. And that's when everything changed. Instead of focusing only on the divorce, people started focusing on the emotional impact. What was Greg feeling? What was Linda feeling? What was their family experiencing? Those questions suddenly became much more important than gossip, because behind every headline are real people, real emotions, real heartbreak, and real consequences. Imagine spending nearly 40 years building a life with someone. Imagine raising a family together. Imagine creating countless memories over decades. Then imagine watching that relationship become a public spectacle. That kind of situation would be difficult for anyone, celebrity or not, rich or poor, famous or unknown. Heartbreak is heartbreak, and public heartbreak can be even harder. Every move gets analyzed. Every expression gets scrutinized. Every statement becomes a headline. For Linda, the decision to move forward with divorce likely wasn't simple. Relationships that last decades aren't built overnight, and they don't end overnight either. Years of experiences become attached to that relationship. Family traditions, shared dreams, and life goals all become connected. Walking away from that isn't easy. But many people believe there comes a point when someone decides they can no longer ignore their own happiness. And if that was Linda's perspective, supporters argue that she had every right to make the decision she felt was best.
That might not be true, according to you, about this woman that allegedly you slept with, who allegedly got her pregnant. Listen to, let me draw up the skeleton, Judge, and then you fill in the meat.
Talk about fueling your stuff. You, on the other hand, have admitted to being addicted to cocaine.
Absolutely.
Secondly, you continue to show symptoms of your addiction.
Okay.
Lastly,
what are those symptoms? Tell me.
These nasal passages you keep coughing up.
And I did aspirin.
This eternal cold that you continue to have.
Yes,
You can't have to come to work because every other reason how you even stupid so low as to blame it on your baby, your newborn. How low can you get? That's about as low as you can get to blame your child for your addiction. Then, lastly, your bisexual activity. I'm sure your audience want to know about that. I've heard that rumor.
I'm sure my husband would love that.
Yeah. Oh, he watches? Does he watch when you do it?
Yes. Don't you know?
No, I don't know. I didn't know you were that low down. Lastly, we can continue with what I heard about all those. It's like 8. You had 8 of them.
Oh,
that's what I heard. That's the rumor.
How
now you want to keep fueling that? Did you write about that in your book?
I wrote it in my book.
All 8 of them?
Yes, I wrote. I have an.
At the same time, Greg's supporters see things differently. Many point out his accomplishments, his contributions, and his commitment to family. They argue that no outsider truly knows the complete story. And honestly, that's probably true, because relationships are rarely black and white. There are always multiple sides, multiple experiences, and multiple truths. Yet the public often wants one simple answer, one villain, one victim, and one explanation. Real life doesn't work that way, especially after decades together. As conversations continued, Wendy Williams remained a major topic of discussion, not necessarily because of anything she officially confirmed, but because her history with Greg made the situation even more intriguing. Fans couldn't stop talking about it. The idea that Wendy might somehow be connected to the ongoing drama created endless headlines. Every headline attracted more viewers, more comments, and more opinions. The story kept growing. But perhaps the most emotional part of all this isn't the rumors. It isn't the speculation, and it isn't the headlines. It's the realization that one chapter of life may truly be ending. For nearly 40 years, Greg and Linda represented longevity, commitment, and partnership. They were proof that celebrity marriages could survive. Now that image appears forever changed, and that's difficult for many fans to accept. People become emotionally invested in public couples. They celebrate anniversaries, they admire relationships. They view those couples as symbols of hope. When those relationships end, fans often feel disappointed too. Not because they know the couple personally, but because the relationship represented something meaningful. The emotional impact extends beyond the two people involved. Children are affected, grandchildren are affected, close friends are affected. Entire support systems can feel the ripple effects. That's why divorce after decades together often hits differently. It's not just the end of a marriage, it's the end of an era. And for Greg Mathis, that reality may be one of the hardest parts. No matter what caused the separation, no matter who people support, nearly 40 years of history cannot simply be erased. Those memories remain, those experiences remain, those connections remain. The future may look different, but the past still exists. As this story continues to unfold, one thing remains clear. The public may never know every detail. There will always be rumors. There will always be speculation. There will always be competing narratives. But behind all the noise are real people navigating a deeply personal situation. And perhaps that's what everyone should remember. Because today's headlines eventually disappear. Social media moves on. The internet finds a new story. But the people involved still have to live with the consequences. Whether Greg and Linda eventually find peace separately or somehow reconnect in the future remains unknown. Only time will tell. What we do know is that their story has sparked conversations everywhere. And for many fans, it serves as a reminder that even the strongest-looking relationships can face challenges nobody sees. The biggest question now isn't who was right or who was wrong. The biggest question is what happens next. Will new details emerge? Will the public narrative change? Or will this become another Hollywood story that leaves more questions than answers? For now, nobody knows. But one thing is certain. People will be watching, and the conversation is far from over.